Other places have been run and have been started in other communities and this community by, quote, love people, quote, love children. We want to do our thing, man. Well, if you refuse to accept the fact that you're dealing in a society which is based on black and white and green and red and dollars and cents and time clocks and time and motion and whatnot, and there are certain standards of operation that is the business that you're running, you're going to get into trouble. We run a business. Within the business structure, we do our thing. You cannot do it with thoughts of excluding the straight man, the shirt and tie world. You can't, because when you want to put an ad in the paper, you go to the straight man. When you want to get a permit, you go to the straight man. You go to the man downtown. You know, you can be a great producer if you're going to make a film and you don't have the right actress. That film isn't going to come off. If there wasn't a B.B. King or a Chuck Berry or Cannonball Adderley or some of the rock groups, you know, what would we be? Yeah. 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 Well, I'm on my way back to New York. I'll be in New York on Monday. I've got to look at my schedule back there. The problem now is I got 93 tentatives on all different groups from England and whatnot that I just signed. And I can't... was to say to you that I don't live better, or I don't have a better income, or that my family isn't provided for better now than it was, I'd be lying to you. We do very well. I think if we didn't do as well as we do, we wouldn't be able to spend the money we do to improve our mode of operation. We don't just run dance. I don't think we're in the ballroom business only. We're in the business of changing the taste of the public, introducing different types of acts, creating an environment. We don't just put an act on the stage and put on the lights and, you know, 4 walls and a sound system. We're very much concerned with what happens to Joe and Jane Date when they come in here. You know, what happens to them, not just in relation to the talent on the stage, in relationship to the place and to the other people here. And if you walk into the lobby here and you're worried about people watching you, you might just, you know, pick up an apple and start munching on it. Well, this is usually a private thing. So subconsciously, you're dropping your inhibitions, which will make it more conducive for you to listen freely and be affected, and you affect others freely, and hopefully you'll see that people aren't looking at you or gaping at you. You come here with a shirt and tie, and people won't, you know, stare at you as they might in some other places or put you down for it. So that after a short time, you should be relaxed and become involved, and hopefully you'll begin moving a little bit, or you'll dig the light show or the sound, or you'll start a conversation with someone. And I think the other key, other than the talent or the environment, is that we're very, very fortunate. I'm not doing a commercial for the Chamber of Commerce of San Francisco. People are generally very nice here, and when they shake your hand, they don't say, you know, what's in it for me? They just shake your hand. It's the closest thing to, except for New Orleans, I think, to the European thing, when there's a joie, there's a certain esprit, which doesn't exist in the other cities, which New York, Chicago, Detroit, where everything is pretty nailsy, you know, tar. I think the primary reason for that is that the people who come here, from the very beginning, the primary reason to me seemed to have always been, we're here to have a good time, not to rumble, not to make out. Sure, a boy wants to meet girl, vice versa. But they come here with the primary purpose of enjoying themselves, which is not the primary purpose in some other establishments, in some other towns. You know, I went to dances all my life in New York. I'm a Latin music freak. And after a couple of hours, you know, the Polish crowd was in one corner and the Latin crowd in another corner. And, you know, we'd flex our muscles and we'd wear our club jackets, and it was, you know, there was a wall there. And the good dancers danced in that corner and the beginners in the other corner, and you wouldn't dare step into certain parts of the thing, you know. And you locked the bathroom to take a little swig, and it was all, it's a little different out here. And that's the other, that's what makes the whole thing function. That's what makes the whole thing possible. Because if you have an audience that sits like they do, you know, like the Broadway crowd, the 890 orchestra's seat holder. All right, show me. And here they, all right, do your thing. B.B. King played the joints for years, or Otis Redding was a black R&B singer who played the southern route. And what rock and roll, or the popularity of rock and roll, has afforded us is the opportunity to use good rock and roll as bait to bring the people in, but once they got here, to present them with some of the people who, were it not for them, there wouldn't be any rock and roll.
It's almost impossible to describe the feeling of being in a rock dance, and maybe that's why so many young people flock here every weekend to see what Bill Graham and Fillmore West is all about. Belva Davis, for Eyewitness News, San Francisco.